All right, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Kasha Kwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Machakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone to rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. All right, just gonna do a fairly quick lesson, just an exhortation, especially centered or gravitated towards young men in the spirit like myself. I've only been in this thing 5-6 years, something like that, and I'm still young, I'm still learning, I'm still a sponge. All right, and this is to me first and foremost, and to younger brothers in this truth as well. I'm saying this with all humility as best as possible. And also, when we open up our videos, we give double honors, like it says, what is that? I think in Timothy, to give double honors to the apostles and elders who rule and teach well. So if you're saying that in the inception of your videos, you better goddamn mean it, because if you think they teach well, we'll stick and abide by their teachings. The word abide means the same. It's equivalent or a synonym to the word stay. When you go into the word stay, it means to lean upon. All right, we lean upon the teachings of the apostles and elders who are set before us by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So stay in your goddamn lane and stay under the doctrine of what's been taught. If you're teaching anything else other than that, you're going off and you're not staying in that sound doctrine. Therefore, you are in a new wine, you could say. Matter of fact, I'm just going to get a quick precept speaking on new wine. I know I'm applying this. I'm just applying this, okay? So this is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 13. It says, others mocking said, these men are full of new wine. Don't be the one who is full of new wine. New wine is a new philosophy, which is a new doctrine that hasn't been taught. Probably some off-the-wall shit, okay? Stay in your lane. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to get into Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 31, like I just had up, all right? I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee. Now, you can read this chapter and take it literally when it becomes to eating habits or eating manners, all right? Like literally. The scriptures teach you how to be somewhat, acceptable when it comes around people, when you come around people, and how you conduct yourself in a manner of eating. You just don't eat like a pig and get seconds, thirds, and fourths and just take the plate first and start just grabbing stuff and not caring what. This is what this chapter teaches you, but also it's spiritual. And I'm getting into the spiritual morality of this chapter and these specific verses and pertaining to us young men. All right, it says, eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee. Exactly. Bishop Atazamwam just did, and who's the head of my camp here in Georgia, Atlanta camp, he just did a wonderful exhortation video speaking on this. All right, he made a great analogy. If you're a little brother and you have an older brother, don't get mad at your dad when your older brother gets 2 pieces of chicken and a little bit more macaroni and cheese, and you only get 1 piece of chicken. Don't get mad because you wanted 2 pieces of chicken or the bigger piece. Your older brother is bigger than you and he's more mature than you, so he requires more intake than you. Simple. Your father gave you what was sufficient for you at the time. It's the same thing growing up in this truth. You eat what you get put on that plate, all right? And as a younger brother, we're not eating as much as a man who's been in it for 10, 12, going on 30, 35 years, okay? We're not eating that much. We're eating a very small portion of what we can handle, and that's what the Lord gives us. So stay in that lane and don't be gluttonous, okay? So if you're doing anything out of the ordinary, you're being very greedy and gluttonous. You're being obese in the spirit. and you want to be spiritually fit, okay? You don't want to overconsume and swell yourself with knowledge. Therefore, you get puffed up and that pride comes in and you think you know something. Apostle Gabar did a great video, and he made another analogy. He says, what is a 12-year-old or a 6-year-old boy going to tell a 30-year-old man? It's the same thing in the spirit. What is a 2-year-old, even this, what is a 1-year-old, 2-year-old child going to blabber to a 6-year-old, 7, 8-year-old kid? All right? Nothing. Exactly. All right? So it says, eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee, and devour not. When it says devour not, don't be a pig, blah, 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 and stuff in your face unnecessarily. It says, lest thou be hated. Exactly, lest thou be hated. You start stuffing your face with a whole bunch of knowledge that you accumulate and you can't sustain and you can't hoard or whatnot. You can't store inside your mental, inside that pineal gland. Then you're going to start blabbering out a lot of things that become in the nature of pride. And men are going to start hating you because men, sincere, humble men, hate that pride shit. Okay? With a lot of knowledge, the counteractive to that is pride. Okay? And you got to check yourself. For men who can retain easily and who have an abundant amount of knowledge, the thing they deal with the most is pride. And the thing they have to practice the most is humility, okay? So it says, verse 17, leave off first for manner's sake and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend, okay? That word unsatiable, I got it. It's insatiable, which means of an appetite or desire impossible to satisfy, okay? Yes, the scriptures say ever learning. You're supposed to be learning and gaining every single day. But there's a certain measure to where you gain your knowledge and understanding. You don't stuff yourself for 8 hours in the day and watch 50 videos every day. Get your ass out. Apostle Gabar did a video of it. Go on a date. Go link up with the brother. Go bowling. Go get a drink or two. Get your ass up off that chair. I'm not telling you not to study, but if you're studying to where it's like, bro, like, go outside and get some sunlight, then you got a problem, okay? Because eating too much, you can regurgitate that and you can become sick, all right? And the one way to become sick is expressing a lot of pride and thinking you know something. Always having to fact check a brother. Always having to put your 2 cents in. Man, shut the fuck up. I'm going to say it blunt like that, okay? Because if you think you know something, you know nothing that you ought to know, like it says in 1 Corinthians, the 8th chapter, verse 2. Okay? So it says a person having an insatiable appetite or desire for something, especially sex. Okay? In this, it says especially sex. Of course, that's like a lust demon. But in this case, we're going into you lust after knowledge. Therefore, that pride seeps in and you're hated. Simple as that. And then you start offending brothers because you think you know something. All right? You can offend a man who's been in for 10, 12 years and you're a 2-year-old child thinking you know something because you read 8 hours every day. Do you work? The scripture, well, do you work? Do you watch 50 videos a day? Do you work? Do you have a job? Like Apostle Tahar told us to go get. Do you have a job? All right? The scriptures say if you don't work, you don't eat in the book of Thessalonians. So if you're sitting there reading literally 12 hours out the day, there's something wrong with you, bro. Okay? We are in 2 sects of realms. We're in the spiritual realm because we're connecting with our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and we're in the carnal realm, which we walk around in the matrix every single day. We have to master both realms, okay? We have to master both realms. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai gave us the tools in order to do that as well. The law, statutes, and commandments tell you how to keep up with yourself carnally, but also the law is spiritual, like it says in the book of Romans, okay? You've been reading for 12 hours. Why don't you read that? Okay? The scriptures tell you to have a balance. If you're reading for 12 hours out the day, that's not a balance. You're overdoing it on one side or the other. Get your ass up. Go on a date. Go bowling. Go get a drink. Go link up with a brother. Okay? Trade talents. Something. Stop being gluttonous and very greedy in the spirit. Okay? And then want to fact check a brother every single time. Or you're so argumentative all the time. Shut that shit up. You just a young buck. Be quiet. All right? So it says, verse 18, when thou sittest among many, reach not thy hand out first of all. It says, a very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. Okay? And if you're coming under the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, you've been well nurtured and you're being nurtured. You don't need much at one time. Little will suffice. When you read about John the Baptist in Matthew, the 3rd chapter, all he needed was his raiment, his girdle, his camel's hair, and honey and locusts, and he was good. That's very little that sufficed. That's very sufficient for a man, but John the Baptist was well nourished by the Spirit. You see? Yahweh Shai says, not bread alone, but the Spirit, man. Okay? That's what's going to feed you. If you sitting forcing the course by doing nothing but reading and watching hella videos all day, every day, the Spirit can't work with you like that. Okay? You got to let the Spirit do what it does. Okay? That goes back to what? John, I think the 3rd chapter, if I'm not mistaken, when he's speaking to Nicodemus. I may be off. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But he says, I think in the 8th verse, it said the Spirit is like the wind, man. It goes where it goes. That's how it uses us. Okay? It nurtures us when it needs to nurture us. You take it as it comes. You don't force it. All right? And he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed. So with that being said, this is going to young brothers, including myself. This is a heavy exhortation. Okay? A heavy exhortation. Check yourself. Stay in line. If you're overindulging yourself in studies and trying to gain all this knowledge, I understand the times are short, but the Lord will carry you to where he needs you. He will give you the sufficient amount of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to get you by in the day of Jacob's trouble. Trust me on this. Okay? Trust me. All right? Because me, myself, I'm going to say it 100 and I'm going to put it on wax. I've had a problem with wanting to gain so much knowledge and wanting to know so much. Brothers had to sit me down and check me on it. It's like, yo, I understand you can retain things. You're a good teacher, whatever, but you have to do it in moderation. All right? So you don't offend the brother, so you don't buck up against order, and so you don't think you know something when you don't. When you got men around you who already know the things that you find out that you think they don't know. Simmer down, buddy. I've had to be told that. Okay? So I'm saying the same thing in an exhortation so y'all can escape or not have to go through that rebuking session that y'all won't have to go through if you listen. You see? That's what you call the man who has traveled. All right? I had to learn from men who have traveled, and then I had to go through my experiences and my short travels and tell the brothers who haven't really packed their bags and put the cross on their back to follow Yahweh Shai, if as a sense, okay, that just started doing it. I'm telling you, it's just a trickle-down effect. So this is a heavy, heavy exhortation to younger men like myself and men who are younger than me, okay? Eat what is sufficient for you. Don't be gluttonous and over greedy, So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, who you should be listening to get the correct doctrine. Nothing else out of the ordinary should be coming out of your mouth other than what they teach you. Okay? If you find something, go to an elder brother and solidify it and let them fact check you and they'll do it under the correct doctrine. All right? So double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. It's your brother Kasha Qual from the GMS Atlanta Church. Until next time, I want to say shalom.